Okay, let's get started with the actual third assignment for the Excel module. Okay, here we have this little nice coastal realty agent commission table. Okay, uh, apart from all these data here, we still need three more column here. Okay, one is year-to-date commission. Okay, and this indication of all the commissions they have received so far. Okay, based on the commission rate here, okay, based on the year-to-date sales amount here, okay, and second thing is over under quota. The quota, the percentage that each employee, each salesperson, the percentage is the percentage of sales that each particular sales representative has completed. And third column is about the standing. Okay, it's about standing. Okay, then we have all these three items. So if you have studied thoroughly about the warm-up exercise, about the function, I think the rest of the steps can be fairly easy for you. So how do you calculate year-to-date sales commission? You don't actually have to use any functions here. It's just a simple multiplication. Um, Commission rate times year-to-date sales is fairly simple. Okay, all you need to do is to fill the rest of the cells. How do you actually calculate the percentage? Okay, the percentage of sales quota that each salesperson has completed. So all you need to do is actual year-to-date sales divided with sales quota. So you know what's the percentage you have completed so far. For the rest of the things, you can just do it like this. Okay. Format-wise, we're seeing too many digits after zero. Therefore, we decided to convert it into percentage at first. Okay. And it's going to automatically leave hundreds place in the percentage. And standing, okay, for standing, we need to use a standing table here, okay, standing table here. So I'll say for those people who have completed more than, 0%, they are going to be bronze here, and those who are above 100% is going to be silver. Okay, above 125% is going to be the gold here. Okay, so um, let me go ahead and name this range, the table array here. So let me name it as a standing table. So for those of you who are in the class, you probably know the reason why I'm naming this cell. In naming a table, in naming a range, it's going to ease your job a lot. In the future, when you're trying to reference this particular range, you probably do not need to use, you absolutely do not need to use any coordinate. You do not need to put any dollar sign in front of all these cell coordinate. You can just use the name, a standing table right here to reference this range whenever you want. Okay, so for example, I'm going to do this here, Vlookup. So I'm looking up this percentage right here. I'm looking it up from the standing table which I named earlier. Okay, and I'm going to return corresponding value from the second column. So see, this person lower than 100%, therefore he was named after bronze. Okay, his standing was named as bronze. So this is one way to do this. Okay, this is one way to do this. Um, I think we need to use a more advanced function to do this all over again. So what do I mean by using advanced function? It's obviously by converting it into table, okay? So in next step, I'm going to convert this range right here into a table area. In table area, you have many convenient automated process built in, so that can actually ease your job a lot. So for a lot of you, if you have learned how to use a table area, you might just want to use that every time. Okay, so first thing you do is select a range that you would like to convert it into the table area. Um, Make sure you have select those, and Control T is going to help you create a table area. So make sure the table area is correct. Make sure that you have this thing clicked. Okay, my table has headers. If you have this tick mark selected, it will consider the very first row as the header. If you do not click this, it will consider the very first row as the part of the contents, which is not. So make sure you have select this tick mark here. Let's click OK. So as soon as you turn it, you might discover that this is actually turned into a very colorful, beautiful area that contains the data you have. So the one thing you can notice here is that this Table Tool tab, the Design tab, is enabled as instantly as you click in any cell within the table area. So as you click away, the tab is gone. As you click again, the tab has come back again. So we are seeing banded rows. Okay, banded rows definitely increases the readability. You can go here and pick other color if you want, and we see that header row is visible. Header row is visible, and sometimes they can help you to make your first column more visible. Okay, first column more visible. Last column is not here yet. Okay, and they can make your columns even banded. So okay, and we're gonna take a look at this later, and we're gonna take a look at this thing right here. Okay, so as soon as you click this, you notice that row 21 is come to life, right? Has come to life. Here you can get many things here. You can get automated average here, and we can get a automated sum, which is total. We can get automated year-to-date sales. Okay, here we can get automated average sales commission. Okay, so we need to complete this part again. Okay, there's a reason why I have removed the results from previous step. Here the calculations, the operation is much easier. You can just complete the first unit, and the rest of the things is going to help you filled up automatically. That's thing too. So year-to-date sales divided by sales quota automatically. Boom. So that thing right here. You can consider converted to the table area as well, but since this is pretty much everything, so I would just leave it as is, okay? Because I've done naming this. Okay. Oh, by the way, this is table 1. Okay, I forgot to rename it. I'm going to rename it into commission table. Commission. Commission table. There's a reason why I do not put any single space here. Okay, so commission table. Okay. If you take a look, we have two tables right here. One table is a standing table, which is our reference as I try to calculate VLOOKUP thing here. VLOOKUP. And let's take a look. We are actually looking up this value right here, right? So as you can see, as you converted the table into table area thing, it has changed the way of referencing cells, okay? The second argument is actually the standing table, which is our reference table. Third argument is actually the number of columns that you want to return. So boom, we have all things here. Okay, so for next step, okay, yeah, let's calculate. Let's finish this sum, and let's try to calculate this. I want to see actual year-to-date sales with actual year-to-date sales quota. So this number tells us this organization has completed exceed their sales quota by 4%. So this is good to know. If you don't like it, you can just convert it into percentage. Okay. And for here, if you think too much too much digits, you can reduce it. Okay, reduce it to hundreds place. And for rest of the things, we can just leave it like this. And what we can do, I'm trying to dig as many insights out of this particular table right here. That's what we are using Excel actually. We need to extract a lot of insights out of this data to help you make some business decisions. So if you notice here, we see some a little triangle here, which is a drop-down thing. This is actually the indication of filter has come to life. You can actually filter your contents based on these criteria. So for example, I just want to take a look at people from residential area. So in this case, we go to category. We click away all these things except residential area. This is going to help us display only people from the residential area. As you can see from here, rest of the rows are not actually being deleted. These are just temporarily hidden. Okay, because we have applied the first level of filter. So what if, okay, cancel it. So still the category category has been applied as a filter here. What can you do if you want to know who are those people from residential area has completed their quota by who has completed their quota by 10% or more? Okay, so you know that the question I've just stated including two different criteria. One criteria is people from residential department, right? This is first level. Second level of the filter is actually those who completed their sales quota by 10%, more than 10%. So we can tell instantly because we have so little data here. How do you apply filter in this case? So do you just go here and click away all these lower values? Again, let me remind you, this has very little data here, but the correct way to do that is, a better way to do that is actually apply number filters here. So you can go here greater or equal to. So we want to know who are those people who have completed their quota more than 10%. So this is actually the border of 110% above and under. So this will actually help us to display the results that's matching to our inquiry. Residential department who completed their quota more than 10%, okay, more than 110%. So how do you actually resume to previous data? Okay, how do you actually remove all these filter? You clear filter from here, clear here. It doesn't actually matter which one you clear first. So as long as you clear all of them. So another thing you can do with this table you can sort them. Okay, you can sort them. For example, I can sort based on their name. Okay, that's the criteria I'll be using alphabetical order to sort this table. So make sure you click any one cell that's in this agent's column here. That's the indication that we're going to use this column as the criteria of sorting. So sort is here, sort is here. You can just click this, sort A to Z. Okay, as you can see, the data has been sorted using their name as a criteria. 1, 2, 3, 4. As you can see here, we're actually seeing two carries here. It has the same name, same department, same year experience, same hire date, yearly sales. Everything is the same. So this is what we call it as a duplicate, okay? Redundant or duplicate. So this happens because of human error or machine error. So how do you remove all these duplicates to kind of improve your data efficiency? So luckily, if you have turned entire area into table, the table itself has a built-in duplicates removal function, which is listed here. So if you click it, instantly it's going to pop up something like this. It's basically asking you how would you define duplication. So I'm going to apply all these different criteria to define duplicate, right? Sometimes you have agents with the same name but different category, different experience. That might be an indication of different person, okay? But in clicking all these things together, exactly the same people meeting all these requirements exist is basically near to zero. So this it's good definition for duplication. Let's click OK to OK. It shows that one duplicate value found and removed. So now we have only those unique values remained. Okay. So sometimes you want to apply more than two levels of uh, of of criteria when you actually sort. So this time, I want to sort. Um, I want to put the first level of sorting with criteria of category, and then under the what in this sometimes. Okay, let me rephrase it a little bit. So first criteria is going to be category. So under the same category, how would you sort under the same category? For that's the time we need second criteria of sorting. Okay, under the same category, I'm going to take a look from people has the most year of experience. It require us to use the second level of category when we sort. So let's do it. Since we are dealing with more than two different levels of the category, therefore, under the data tab, we need to use this custom sort. Okay, click this. So here, I'm going to using the category as the first level of sorting. Okay, in this time, priority actually matters, right? So I want to actually apply the category as the first level of sorting. Second level is actually the year of experience. For category, since this is alphabetical, I'm going to make it as an ascending order from A to Z. But for the XX experience, since this is numeric, I'm going to do it in a descending order from largest to smallest. So let's click it. So as you can see, under the same category, people with the most experience will appear first. Okay, so this is what actually sorting is going to help us to achieve. So let's move on to the next. So if you recall the filter thing, so let's say you have the obsession for obsession for the perfection. Okay, you don't want you don't want someone else to mess up your data like this. Okay, even though you are actually utilizing this data, you don't want, when you manipulate your filter, you don't want this filtering things manipulate data in place. Instead, you're trying to extract the result of filter and copy and paste to somewhere else. Okay, so you probably will have more clear idea what I'm trying to say after you see what I'm doing here. Okay, so in that case, we need to use advanced function in filter here. So here we have two options: filter the list in place. This is what we have done. Okay, we have filtered the list in place. We manipulate data in place, and the second option is actually copy to another location. You can copy the result to paste it to somewhere else, so the original data set will remain intact. Okay, in order to take advantage of this particular function, we need to do some preparation work. So let's go here. What I need to do is I need to define the area that has all the criteria, and also have to define the area where the new result is going to be pasted. So I'm going to define the criteria area first. Criteria. Now you see there's reason for this large empty area here. Okay, this is actually our criteria area, and I'm going to define this from here as our extracted result area. Okay, criteria area. Okay, good. So in order to have your criteria ready, you need to copy and paste the whole thing. Okay, mainly we need all these column head. Okay, we don't need all these contents here, because we're going to write down our own criteria here anyway. Okay, so for example, I'm going to repeat the previous example. I want to know those people from residential area, residential department who has experience. Okay, no, that's not the one I used. Who has completed their quota more than 1.1%? Okay, so we have written down our criteria here. Let's go ahead and take a look how we can take advantage of this advanced filter. Before I go here, I'm going to select our entire data first, just to indicate we're going to manipulate this area. Advanced, okay, and just select the second thing. So list range, we have it correct, from A8 to J20, and criteria range is actually this. Okay, this is our criteria range, and we want to copy it to A25. We want to copy it to this particular area, and so we have everything correct. If you want, you can go ahead and click this. Although we have eliminated our duplication, but just in case. So click OK. Boom. So all these people from residential area who have completed their sales quota exceed their sales quota more than 10% has shown here. Okay, so you can actually repeat it. You can actually repeat it. You want to know from vacation department who has sales experience more than 5 years. Okay, it's more than 5 years, and make sure you delete this criteria. Otherwise, it's going to apply 3 different levels of criteria. Let me remove all this again. Let me remove all this again, and let's select the range first, and using advanced filter. Criteria is still the same area, and let's copy it to A25. A25, boom. So everything is here again. So this is how you're gonna take advantage of advanced filter function. Okay, I think I've omitted one operation here. That is, I'm going to put a red flag on those cells has a value that's lower than 100%. I'm going to put a yellow flag for those silver people. Okay, this is easy. I'm going to put a green flag for those gold people. Okay, in order to do so, you need to borrow the conditional formatting function here. Okay, so go here. I'm going to use the icon set. I'm going to take more rules here. More rule here. Let's take a look whether we have flag icon here. I think there should be a flag icon. Okay, it's flag. So since here I prefer use number instead of percentage. Okay, so for those people, when value is more than 1.25, basically that's what it is, right? 1.25 is gold people, and people is larger than 1. Do I get it right? Okay, when smaller than 125, but still larger than 1, those people considered as a silver, and we're going to use yellow flag. For those people lower than 1%, we're going to put a red flag. So boom, we have it. Okay, so this is actually visualize our data a lot. It's easier to, intuitively know who's actually the green flag. Okay, so this is one thing we can do, and let's continue. If you want to take a break, you can just click pause and come back later, and we're gonna take a look at a lot of statistics here using lots of different functions. So okay, so I've done some preparation work here, and we are going to working on those things from second part of this video. So mainly I just want to work on the statistics here. So I want to know what's the average sales done by residential department, what's the average sales done by vacation department. I want to know what's the count of gold standing here. I want to know sales total done by gold standing. Okay, I want to know what's the residential agents count. How many residential agents are there? So that's what we want to know. So in doing so, I think let me start in from the simplest one. So I need to count. Okay, I need to count number of residential agents. In order to do that, okay, you need to combine if and count. Okay, so I'm not talking about two separate functions. We need to borrow the count if function to count the number of number of cells that satisfies our criteria, our requirement. So here, let's take a look. Let's count residential agents. So all the residential agents are listed in here. Okay, here in this particular range. You don't even have to include the first column head here, although it's very important in the later phase of our video that you will see sometimes when it matters to include header or not. But for now, it is okay for us to not to include the column head. Okay, and then we want to count residential. Okay, we want to count residential. So let me interpret this function real quick. Okay, let me interpret this function real quick. And okay, so COUNTIF function is going to count number of items that satisfies our requirement out of a given range. So here the first argument is the range. Okay, the second argument is actually the items that we are looking for. So how many residentials are listed in this range? The COUNTIF is going to return this particular results. Again, if you take a look at here, counts the number of the cells within a range that meets the given conditions. So residential is actually the conditions we're looking for, and this is actually the range. Okay, since we have turned this thing into a table, therefore it uses a different ways to indicate range here. Okay, that's the reason why you don't see any A2, J25, things like that. Okay, it's basically a different system of referencing item. Okay, let me go back. Control Wave key, and let me go back here. Okay, sales total by gold standing. So this is a little this will have one more argument if you compare with the COUNTIF. Still is a condition where you need to use sum and if together. Of course, this still is a one function here. We're using sum if. Okay, except it has 3 arguments this time. For the range, we are going to feed the range where the list of standings are contained. Okay, so basically standing table contains all the standing values here, and we are actually looking for gold. We're actually looking for gold, or you can just pick any cell that contains gold. Okay, basically this is gold, and we are for third argument, we actually need to feed where all the number of where all the sales numbers are contained, so that we can actually combine all these sales numbers. You see, we're asking for the sales total done by gold standings. For first 2 arguments, you need to feed SUMIF function so that it can locate these rows that meets our condition. So for the third argument, we actually have to specify the range, okay, where all the cells are contained, which is this particular cells. So here, because in range we did not include the header, you also should not include a header for the third argument here. So here, boom, you have all the cells done by gold standing people. Okay, so how do you actually count the gold standing here? We actually do it a little differently this time. Of course, this is actually the similar inquiry with the first one we have done, but we are actually going to use a function called database function. Database function is a set of functions, okay, that basically taking advantage of table and consider that as a consider a table as an entire database. So it has a whole sets of different functions here. You can use whichever you want, okay, unless it is unless unless required by your instructors on your quiz or something like that. So here, just to show you how to use dcount here, so dcount. So all the database functions starts from D. Okay, so you can see here daverage and the dcount A, dproduct, dstandard deviation, dsum, dvariable. These are all the database function. It's not all the function that begins with D is a database function. But all the database function pretty much begins with D. So I'm going to use dcount here. Dcount here. I'm actually going to use dcount A because it's easier. Okay. So database. So what is a database? Database is actually basically this part right here. This part right here. This time I'm going to include in database function. You probably want to include your column head, okay? And for the second argument, it's the field, okay? It's actually the column where we are looking into. We're actually looking into number of gold standings. Therefore, you may just want to click this, okay? Just indicate we are actually looking for in this particular field. Okay, you should not put a range here. Instead, you should only indicate the label of the column, name of the column. Okay, so third argument is actually here. That's the reason why I have laid down all the criteria like this. This is actually a label name. This is actually the value we're looking for. So it means that from this data, if you take a look at this function here, from this database, okay, and in that particular column, okay, count number of items that meets the condition laid out here. Okay, so this basically is what it means, and click OK. It's going to get your number of gold here. 1, 2, 3. Yes, we are correct. Okay, so there's a reason why I did not use count. I used count A instead of count. Okay, for those of you if you can recall count function, actually what count function does is that it's going to help you count number of non-numeric value. Okay, similarly, dcount function is going to help you count number of numeric value. So since we are actually looking for from this area, you see none, right? You see none. So that's the reason why I did not use dcount, but you can still consider using it. I can still perform the similar task with a dcount. All you need to do is you actually in the same database, and here standing. No, it's not standing. Let's go here. Just any column that contains numeric value will work. Any column that contains numeric value will work. Okay, and then the condition is standing gold. Okay, so in this way it's going to help us count all these rows. Okay, all these gold rows. Okay, all these gold rows, particularly commission rate column. Okay, it's going to help us count how many items in commission rate column is actually for gold standing people. So since this is counting non-numeric value from this particular column, this is counting numeric values from the corresponding rows in some other different column. Therefore, I think I've done pretty good job in trying to take advantage of each different formula, trying to get something I want. Okay, you can leave just one here. And here, I want to know what's the average sales done by vacation. Similarly, you can take a look. You can actually take advantage of average if function right here, but I'll just leave it to your own, and I'm going to using the average here. the average here, entire database is here, and the second is of course the average sales. Okay, average sales. I'm gonna go to the year-to-date sales here. Okay, sales are the third argument is actually the um, criteria here. As you can see, I put residential instead of vacation. That's one mistake I made early, but it's actually good so that we can observe how the value actually changing when we try to change the value in this particular cell. So we got this number right here, but as I explained earlier, I need to put vacation instead of residential. So actually this number you see here is the average sales for the residential department instead of vacation department. Okay, I'm just gonna do that. You see the number has changed. Okay, let me finalize this. The average, okay, from the same data table. You see I'm including the header, okay? I'm including the header and the second argument. I'm gonna do a little differently this time. I'm gonna just type in the column head. And the third argument is this. Uh-oh, let me take a look. What's wrong here? Year-to-date sales. Year-to-date sales. Residential. Year-to-date sales. Okay, for some reason it has returned me with an error, but if you take a closer look here, you see that I have a wrong spelling here. The average. Okay, the first argument is accurate. The second argument is actually accurate. It's the same spelling with this thing right here. Okay, and this is our criteria area. I think this actually worked this time. So okay, you need to be very detail oriented so they have a sharp eye, have a good memory, things like that. Okay, for the one last step here, things I want to achieve is very remarkable. Okay, so what I want to do is here, as I type name of a particular salesperson, I want the sales number will show up here instantly. Okay, for example, Lee Jan is here. Let's take a look at Lee Jan. Okay, this is a person we're looking for. Lee Jan, her sales number. It looks like a lady's name, so her sales number is this. So what I want to do this time is I'm trying to get her name showed up here. See if I can achieve it with the Vlookup function. Okay, Vlookup function. Although this is not the definitive way to do this. Okay, so no. Let me do it again. Vlookup. Okay, we're looking for Lee Jane. Okay, from which table? From this table. I mentioned that the values that you're trying to looking up has to be in the leftmost column. Therefore, it satisfies our requirements, and we want to return the contents from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 column, and this time we want to have a exact match. Therefore, we need to put a false here. Okay, so I did not explain this in earlier video when we tried to working on the grading book example. But the number 4 argument is actually help us to define two different occasions. One occasion, you might want to looking up value. You might want to looking up the value that's exactly the same from the given range. Okay, but in some other occasions, you just want to looking up the range instead of the exact value. So I'm going to discuss more detail in the third video, in following video, um, when I try to convert between if, VLOOKUP, and index match functions, things like that. So I showed you at least here with VLOOKUP function how to get the things you want. Okay, so let's try some different name here. See if it tells us the right number here. Reeves, Camden Reeves here. Sales total is this number here. Okay, we're seeing 1 million Okay, a little 1,219,000. So does it show? Yeah, we got the right number here. So we have used VLOOKUP function successfully here to get the result we want, but we need something better here. Okay, we need something better. We need to use the index function and the match function. Index and match function combined. Okay, index and match function combined. So index function is going to help us to pinpoint the contents from a given matrix based on the column number and row number. Okay, so for example, let me pinpoint the Mr. Reeves, Camden, Mr. or Mrs. Reeves sales number right here. So it looks like this number right here, right? So this thing is listed. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ninth row, right? Ninth row, ninth row. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 column, ninth row. So I'm just going to use index function here. Index from this particular range. Make sure this time I did not include any column head. Okay. The second argument is row number. Did I say? Oh gosh, I forgot. Ninth row, 6 column. Is that what it is? Yes. Ninth row, 6 column. Okay, ninth row, 6 column. So this is halfway done. Okay, what we want to do is we want to put different name here. Okay, and we want this result changes each time. We want the result change as we go. So how do we actually automate the process here? So we're pretty sure that all the sales number is listed in the sales number is listed in the 6th column, right? So all we need to do 6 will stay intact. This table will stay intact. All we need to do is to kind of make this row number changes as you types. Okay, that's where we need match function here. So let me just go ahead and finalize this by typing the match function here. So okay, let me just slowly let me do it. Let me show you example first. So what match function does is that it's going to return. Okay, it's going to return the relative row number. It's going to return relative row number. Therefore, the answer of the match function is actually the row number. It's actually relative row number. So what do you mean by relative row number? Let me show you what it is. So lookup array. This is not lookup. This is not lookup matrix. There's difference, right? So this time the array has to be a. Sorry, I messed up. Do it again. Match. We're looking for this value. Okay, we're looking up this value from list of, okay, this range. It has to be column. It cannot be matrix, otherwise it's going to return an error. It has to be a just a one-dimensional column. Okay, the third is actually the third argument is third arguments can only takes 3 value. 1, 0, minus 1. I'm going to explain this in later, but for now, we're just going to put 0 right here. Okay, put 0 right here. 0 means exact match. So what this function means is that please tell me the row number from given range, okay, from given range, where Li Jian is listed. Okay, I'm looking for Li Jian and Li Jian only. So this is what it means. So you can expect it's going to return number 10 here. Okay, number 10 here. What's the reason why it returned number 10? Okay, Li Jian is listed number 10, right? So we just maybe you have guessed already. All I want to do to complete this thing is to replace the second argument with match function right here. So it's going to help us get the number. So let's put Reeves again. Okay, let's put Reeves, Camden here again. see if it's going to return us anything. Okay. Yes. So it's going to return us different value each time since we have our function correct. Okay, so this is what we have done with the third assignments. We're not quite there yet. Okay, there are a couple more things I need to explain in third video. Okay, so make sure you come back and watch for the third video.